Hello, Dublin, East Dublin, and all our viewers all over Middle Georgia. Newswatch 35 is straight ahead. Our top story today, over 1,400 people have registered this week at the General Missionary Baptist Convention of Georgia. The 52nd annual session of the Congress for Christian Education is going on right now and all this week at Dublin High School. We want to welcome all of you. I talked to some of the folks today out there, and they had registered over 1,400 people. Welcome to each and every one of you. And the General Missionary Baptist Convention is driven by service. The mission is based on the premise of being Bible-based, Christ-centered, Holy Spirit-led. And we want to welcome all of you. Convention President Reverend Curtis Raines, Sr., pastor up in Bibb County for many years. He was at New Pilgrim Baptist and Mount Zion Baptist, both in Bibb County, for 57 combined years. There are 800 churches strong, and over 550,000 African-American Baptists are right here in Georgia, are members of the General Missionary Baptist Convention. And they have been here this week, and we want to thank y'all for coming here. It's the second time in 3 years that they have come and had their convention in Dublin. To all of you staying with us this week, thank you so much. Welcome to Dublin, and thank you for being here. Politics. Everything is politics, seems like. And coming up right around the corner, announced just today, the State Democratic Convention will be held right here in Dublin. We're going to have another big crowd headed our way August 9th at the DuBose Porter Center out at Oconee Fall Line Technical College. And also, Governor Deal will be in town for an old-fashioned political rally on August the 5th, 5:30 at the Farmers Market. Now, there are going to be bands playing, plenty of free food, all kind of things going on. And that is August 5th. Governor Deal coming to town. August 9th is the State Democratic Convention being held right here in Dublin, Georgia. Well, on Monday night, we had the first annual Ice Cream Bowl, and we had 2 players from each high school. And from West Lawrence High School, we want to thank Matthew Turner. Also, Blake Okie Bracewell. From Trinity, we had Patrick Whittle and Seth Morton. From Dublin, Trey Coney, Robbie Allison. And from East Lawrence High School, we had Dylan Hall and Ben Blackshear. And that young man right there, Matthew Turner, won it all, eating right at 3 pints of ice cream in 2 minutes. You talking about some brain freezes. But we want to thank everybody for coming out. We kicked off our football season for this year, our 2014 football season. And we want to thank all of you for being a part of it, all 4 of the high schools. And you can watch your game of the week coming up here on TV 35. We're only about a month away, or we're less than a month away from football getting kicked off here on TV 35. Don't forget, our coaches' shows will be broadcast like they have for many years on Wednesday night starting at 8 o'clock. We'll have Dublin High School, East Lawrence, Trinity, and West Lawrence in that order. And those will be getting kicked off right around the corner. Come on, 30 seconds.
Hey, everybody who watching this, follow me on Instagram at Bodie_MBT. Feel me? BODIE_MBT. Follow me on the ground. Get it. LY go. West Lawrence number 40, LB number 1. You feel me? Let's go. Let's go.
How about them Raiders?
Them Raiders turning up this year, you feel me? 15-0, boy. Let's go. Let's get it.
Okay, let's switch gears. Back in 2001, Governor Barnes appointed you to the State Board of Technical and Adult Education. Why was it important for you to serve on that board?
Well, at that point, Zell Miller said he wanted a technical college within an hour of everybody. And Governor Barnes went ahead with that. At the point when I was on the board, the Louis Livingston building was built. We still own 50 acres of land that was bought out there, and it enabled us to grow. But what happened was the economy. And so I think all the technical colleges now are experiencing growth issues. They're combining some. I know we've done that here, but Glenn County's just done that in Wayne County. They've combined. So I think what you're seeing is a rebirth of technical education in the state. Without a doubt, industrial development is dependent on workforce. And we have to have a technical workforce for rural Georgia to survive. And that's where we are.
And we both know our dear friend, we talked about him off camera a while ago, Mr. Louis Livingston. That was dear to his heart. He knew everybody wasn't going to college. We need those skilled jobs. And I tell people when he's been gone 100 years, what he did will still be carrying on. And I think, and I want to talk about volunteering some, but we all need to do that. We all can't help start a technical college, or we all can't do whatever, but we can help in some way in our church or the PTA or the Rotary or whatever. But those things are important, as staying in school.
Yeah.
High school dropouts. Look how we've done so well here in Lawrence County. 5 years ago it was terrible. We see the numbers improving. Kids staying in school, going to Oconee Fall Line. That's what we need, not only for All Good Pest Solutions or TV 35, but for all our businesses. So it's still important.
It's funny you say that. When we were all made aware of our graduation rates, that's probably been 10 years ago, Louis Livingston came to the forefront. And Louis said, what are we going to do to change that? The technical college then allowed some dual enrollment, which was high school and technical college. Now it's taken another step. The Career Academy is about to start, and it won't be just for welding. I mean, it'll be for robotics. It'll be for a lot of different things. City of Dublin school system is about to have an international baccalaureate program.
Amazing.
Which is a phenomenal tool for us to bring industry to this community. Mm-hmm. If you get a German firm in here and they bring a family in, if you get an international baccalaureate degree, you can pretty well go to any college you want to. Mm-hmm. And so that's really something that Chuck Ledbetter and his staff have done that really hadn't been sung a lot, but it is a huge issue.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I don't share this story with many people, but y'all, 3 days before Mr. Louis Livingston passed away, I was in his home, and he was sitting there talking to me about kids graduating from school. He said, James, I don't have much longer. He didn't know he had 3 days. But he said, you've got to work with these kids. Please help these kids. Keep them in school. They've got to graduate. My point is, Mr. Jimmy, how many people that's dying, we're all dying, but how many people on their deathbed is worried about kids graduating from college? What a great man.
Louis Livingston. I mean, we don't have many Louis Livingstons come our way. And it's been a very fortunate thing for to shift a little bit, our development authority. Mm-hmm. Louis Livingston, Don Lamb, gave us continuity for 50 years. And you think about a lot of more rural Georgia communities didn't do economic development 50 years ago. Don Lamb did. Louis Livingston did. Yeah. And that's why we are where we are right now. We're sort of a shining star in rural Georgia as far as economic development. Are we there yet? No, but we're getting there.
That's right. And that's the reason we've got people like Willie Paul here.
That's right.
Because of the Don Lambs and Louis Livingston.
Yep.
And,
that's right.
And getting top caliber people like Willie that's well thought of all over the state. So, and you're past chair of the Development Authority, and you was there. We went through some rough times.
Sure.
We lost about 1,000 manufacturing jobs in about 5 years, and even to this day, I ride out Nathaniel Drive. It's depressing. There's no doubt, because the jobs that we lost on just that one street. But we're on the way out with the Eldridges and D-Nex and the Magays, and we've got other announcements hopefully coming in the future. But what do you see the future of Lawrence County?
Future of Lawrence County, because of the leadership, is bright. We have a great state representative. Hatchett's doing us a heck of a job. Our leadership with George Roussel and Brian Rogers are really good. We have a new person coming in for Development Authority that will be named later. I think we are in so much better shape. By passing the SPLOST with 92% that gave us the money for incentives, that's a huge help. We did that 2 years ago, I think. We have the hospital money that's now transferred into a revolving loan fund for industry incentives. We have land. We have infrastructure. All of that we've built over the last 7 to 10 years. It was terrible to lose those textile jobs, but that's what they were. And it was a shame, but what we've realized is these industries have lifespans just like we do. And we got to count on losing things where we can replace them. Again, just like humanity, I think, is where that is. And I think we're on the road to that. Scott Beasley's done a great job this year. Fred Williams is our incoming chairman. And we are looking forward to the next year or two with economic development in our community.
You volunteer a lot of hours over these. We talked about you've been in business 40 years. You volunteered hundreds of hours. Why is volunteering so important to you?
Well, James, I could give you all this reason, but when I first started my business, I didn't have anything else to do. I mean, and it was good for business.
Honesty.
So we were talking about Rotary a minute ago. I was 29 or 30 when I was president of Rotary, and Mike Below, I think, will enjoy this. We used to see who could get the dirtiest. When we went to Rotary, I'd do a termite job, and then where all the old folks and the men were there, which is my generation now, would think, man, look at that guy, he's worked hard. So I'm just saying to you, I think that you volunteer to help your community, period.
And what would you say to somebody watching us now that don't interact with people good, but wants to help out, wants to volunteer? What kind of advice would you give that person?
We have so many things in Dublin right now, whether it be the downtown that you could work with, whether it be a civic club you could work with. You asked me a little while ago about Lawrence Youth Leadership. My wife and Ann Curry, Louie's wife, started that 16, 17 years ago. You can volunteer with Lawrence Youth Leadership. It's the only program that brings all of the high schools together. And you think, we've always talked about, let's do this with the schools, let's do that with the schools. Let's put the kids together.
Yeah.
And that's what they've done, and that's how they've been successful. So I think you put yourself in the position to cook pancakes for the Exchange Club. And that helps our community.
Yeah. Yeah, and you don't have to be out in front. You don't have to talk. Cooking pancakes
That's
and
right.
the things that you're talking about. And, of course, y'all come back from a meeting, I think. You was in Georgia Leadership in 93, I think, and president of Georgia Leadership in 96. And I think y'all come back from one of those meetings, and Miss Curry and Miss Kathy started talking about this and got Lawrence Youth Leadership. A lot of you know it as LYL, but Lawrence Youth Leadership. But I personally love it. My kids were in it, and my grandchildren. I thank LYL for that because my daughter-in-law went to Dublin. Jeff, my son, went to East Lawrence. They met in LYL.
How about that?
So I thank God for LYL.
Yeah. Well, as a matter of fact, I was leaving the house this morning. Kathy said, I got an LYL meeting today at lunch. It's something, if you don't help the young folks, you're not helping your community.
That's right.
Dr. Fanning, who was he invented or started Leadership Georgia. we sat in this little room on Park Place in Athens one day and said, Doc Fanning, what can we do really to help our state? We need to do one thing as Leadership Georgia. He said, if y'all could talk to each senior in each high school in the state of Georgia and show them what a leadership program is, that's where you help the state of Georgia. And that's how Louie and Ann and Kathy got involved in wanting to do Mars Youth Leadership.
Out of all that volunteering and the boards you've served on, what's some of the things that is near to your heart? And I know you've raised thousands of dollars for cancer, the Crush Cancer campaign. And I know this is a hard question probably, but what's something that's, you looking back over the last 40 years that's, just tugs at your heart every time you think of it?
Well, to be honest with you, downtown Dublin. Bill Lovett sat in my office 25 years ago, whenever we did the theater, and he said, Jimmy wants you to be the chairman of raising this money for that. I said, Mr. Lovett, I don't want to do that. He said, I'll help you. Well, you know what? That's when we sold 650 seats.
Wow.
Just like that. It was nothing to it. Phil Best and I were talking about this the other day. I walked out of my first downtown development meeting 10, 12, 15 years ago. Matt Hatchett and I were in that, and we said, we need to get the city to give us that property on Monroe Street where the market is right now. And look at that right now.
Oh.
It does your heart good to go down there on Saturday morning. Kathy and I go down there just to look.
Yeah.
It's amazing how many people do that.
I don't miss many Saturdays. Yes. Not only the produce, but the camaraderie.
Yeah.
The going back to you going to the Rotary Club meeting dirty.
Yeah.
The people that come, the hard working, the callus
Right.
on their hands. I mean, really what makes our country great.
Yep.
You see all around that farmers market, and talking to Congressman Barrett the other week, he was telling me that people in Washington, educated people, senators and congressmen, think groceries come from the grocery store. Well, you and I know, country boys know, somebody got out and worked. Somebody put it on the tractor. Somebody took it to the port. It all goes together, this economic development. It's not just a catchphrase.
It's a shame everybody can't live in Dublin for a little while.
Amen.
I mean that.
I do too.
I know Kathy's had me the last 2 weeks going down to the farmer's market to see when the white acre peas are in because she wants to shell them. And that's the truth.
Yeah.
But people don't understand that. But I think rural Georgia is an entity that's not going to change, and we just have to elevate ourselves. And I think we're doing that.
Yeah. And the quality of life, and you and I both sell Dublin on a daily basis.
Sure.
And sometimes defend Dublin.
Yeah.
When I read these comments online, as I've read a few the last few weeks, I always respond to them.
Yeah.
Because I want them to know it's not what you're reading. Don't believe everything online or in the paper or wherever.
Sure.
But
well, you know what we sell? We're 2 hours from Atlanta. We're 2 hours from the coast, and you don't have to live in Atlanta. So we have a lot to offer here.
And of course, I mentioned you were past chair of the Development Authority. When you were selling a prospective employer going to bring jobs in, what was the top selling points that you used?
Well, our infrastructure out 257 is completed. Our road is a 5-lane road. We have a 250-acre park out there. And you can get from their industry to the interstate in 5 minutes. The bypass has added the same thing. Our airport is as good as any airport in the state of Georgia. All of our infrastructure, our rail, we have a great railroad system that comes through here, and people don't talk much about rail. We have a short line, the Georgia Railroad, but it connects with CSX and Norfolk Southern down at the port. So we're really a gateway to the rest of Georgia and to the rest of the southeast right here in Dublin.
Okay, let me give you some of my, you shared yours, let me give you some of my benefits that I try to sell Dublin on. I just want your comment on each one. Recreation.
It's as good as in the state. I've got friends of mine that call me and say, we're coming to play ball. I said, what do you mean coming to play ball? He said, well, we play down in Dublin once a month. I said, well, I didn't know that. So it's there. I mean, that complex is
Isn't that
good.
great?
Oh,
Yeah.
it's unbelievable.
And this past weekend, the state all-star tournaments, which my grandson was playing in, and I went through, and just one of my pet peeves, I just walked through the parking lot and just started looking at tags. It was unbelievable,
Yeah.
from Ware County to Pike County to Peach County and Coffee
And they
County.
stay in hotels.
And that was
and
where
they
I was
eat
headed
food,
with
and they go to
Mr.
the
Economic
mall.
Development.
That's right. I mean,
They
that's
do,
what they do.
and maybe buy a stick of furniture. And
Yep.
as we know, that money turns several times in our community. And that's why it's so important for us to shop local,
Yeah.
to go out of town. And I say it all the time to people with kids, cheerleaders, or band members. They don't go to Macon Mall to sell ads. They go to businesses here in town.
Absolutely.
You can't buy those ads if we're not supporting those businesses.
We have to do that with local business people.
And this week is Make Someone Smile Week. And boy, did we have a good time today at the VA Medical Center. And it's been going on for a couple days here. Teleflora has been doing this program for 14 years. And for the past 3 years, Classic Florist and Home Decor right here in Dublin has participated in it. And we want to thank them very much. You know, Teleflora is the world's leading flower delivery service, and they have hooked up with Classic Florists and people right here in town. We want to thank a few people. First of all, we want to thank Jay and Julie Mullis, owners of Classic Florists. They do a great job at Classic. Randy Stone, he takes care of all your flower needs at Classic. And, of course, the program wouldn't be made possible without the Green Acres Garden Club, J.D. Rohr Wholesale Florists, and Hornbuckle Wholesale that helps out. Teleflora donates the mugs that you see, the little smiley mugs. And then the wholesalers, they help with the flowers. And, of course, our local people put it together. And let me tell you, we had a good time today at the VA hospital, and we got to talk to some of the veterans about what they think about this program.
Greg Bragg,
Where are you from, Greg?
Cochran, Georgia.
Okay. How long have you been here at the Veterans Administration?
Going on 2 months.
Okay, we've been going around the VA today trying to make people smile. Now, I saw you smiling a while ago.
Yeah.
This flower bouquet, what do you think about that?
I think it's a great idea. We appreciate it.
Larry Butler,
Where are you from, Larry?
Telfair County.
McRae, Georgia?
No, I live on the other side
Helena?
of the county. No, I live out in the county on the river.
Okay, we're passing out flowers today. Classic Florist is coming around trying to make people smile. I saw you smiling earlier, so it must be working.
Yeah, they're nice.
What do you think about it?
They're nice arrangements and all.
Yeah, what do you think about pretty girls handing out pretty flowers?
That's worth it.
We're trying to make people smile today. Is it working?
Sure.
Tell us your name, where you from.
Don Hamilton. I'm from Albany.
Oh.
Actually, I'm from Cordell.
Okay. What do you think about these pretty girls handing out pretty flowers?
Oh, I love that.
Is that why you've been smiling?
Oh, yeah.
And Randy Stone, I told you a few minutes ago about him. He makes all this happen. Okay, I'm here with Randy Stone, Classic Florist. We're out here at the VA hospital. Make someone smile. This is the third year that y'all participated at Classic, right?
It is.
And we've been walking around. What a lot of smiles. Now, this has got to, I know how it makes me feel,
Right.
but it's got to make you feel good.
It does. It for the last couple of years, it's become more than just the Teleflora Make Someone Smile project. We've just made a lot of friends throughout the community, and coming out here to the VA, it just feels like we're giving something back to these guys.
And tell us, like I said, it's going on 3 years, but tell me how you got here. I know you serve on the board, right?
Serve on the Teleflora board. Teleflora's got a unit in most of the states around the United States, and I happen to serve as the president for the Georgia unit, and that's how I got involved in this. If you serve on the board, then they kind of want you to participate in the project. And after the first year, we were hooked, and I think we'll probably continue to do it.
Yeah, and we've been to nursing homes through the years, and, of course, the VA hospital. It's kind of special out here. Right. Not that nobody's not, but, you know, veterans.
Exactly.
And seeing them smile like this, if anybody deserves it.
They do.
Yeah. Tell me what all, y'all got so much going on at Classic. Man, it seems like every week you're doing something else and got all kind of different things. But what all you got going on at Classic?
Gosh, we got lots of things going on at Classic. Of course, I'm in the back and, kind of overseeing the flower operation and getting the deliveries out and make sure the arrangements are getting done. But then in the front, we've got the girls up there, and they're selling Vera Bradley. And then we've the girl over at Kelly, she just joined us, and she's got her clothes, her boutique clothes in there. So Jay and Julie, they're on the ball. They,
It's
trying
not just because when I was growing up, Classic Forest was a flower shop.
Right.
So that's my whole point. It's not just a
flower shop
anymore.
anymore. No, we're trying to create a destination over there. I think we want people to come in and shop with us, and just good for the community and for Classic.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, beautiful place. It's on Hillcrest Parkway. Everybody knows where Classic is. Been around, well, we're telling our age.
Right.
It's been around as long as I've been around. So, but beautiful place if you have not been by there. Thank you all so much for what you
Certainly.
do. This is a great day. And not only the VA, I think you've been to the Benton House. Tell me where else you've been.
Yesterday we went to the Benton House and to Shamrock Nursing Home, and then later on this afternoon we'll go to Emerald City Lodge and then out to Serenity Hospice.
Okay. Thank you for what you do, brother.
Certainly. Thank you.
Okay. Thank
Take
you.
care.
And that's going to do it for our newscast today, right here from downtown Dublin. Thank you, all of you, to the General Missionary Baptist Convention of Georgia, 1,400 strong this week in Dublin. Welcome to Dublin. And don't forget, we've got a big softball tournament this weekend. All the hotels are sold out at Southern Pines. So when you see those people, welcome them. They'll be coming from other states. There's over 90 teams that will be participating this week at Southern Pines. It is a great boost to our economy. So make them feel welcome. If you're already here this week, welcome to Dublin. We appreciate you coming. We hope you'll come back soon. Thank you for joining us today on Newswatch 35. We hope you'll join us tomorrow right back here on TV 35.